Okay, so it's January, and now it's the time to make this list. No, it's not January. No, it's actually April. It's mid-April, and I'm actually now making this list now. Yes, I'm sorry, but of course, it's about delayed time that I actually make this list for the best films of 2019. This is it, pretty much. But yeah, this list is very factual. It's all to do with facts. It's science. My opinions are always right, and they're always going to be. And that's the way it is, really. It's not biased. It is completely and utterly true. Everything about this list, it's correct. I've not seen every single film, of course I want to see every film, but I just haven't got around to do that as of now. Every single film that you're thinking of, and you're thinking maybe this could be on his list, it's probably not going to be in the list, actually. It's probably not going to be on the list. I love that we will have our different opinions, and that's the way it is. Here we go. Let's start off with this list with some honourable mentions, of course. Weathering with You, Fighting for My Family, Ride Your Wave, Glass, The Farewell, and Dolomite Is My Name. I do love these films, but of course I happen to love the next 15 films even more. Starting off with Spiderman Far From Home. Yes, he chose a Marvel film to start off his list. Of course I did. This is just a great, feel-good, nice summer film that really made my summer. I watched this film twice in cinema. I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I'm a huge Jake Gyllenhaal fan as well. And him, as Mysterio, he is magnificent in this film. He does everything just top-notch, and the transition in his character is brilliant. There's a scene that happens that blew me away in terms of his acting ability, and that was fantastic. This film has the best cameo appearance I have probably seen ever. Honestly, it gave me everything that I needed. By all means, this is not a perfect film at all, but that's the thing about this list. This is my personal favorite ones. These are just films that I enjoy. Coming in at number 14 is Official Secrets, starring Keira Knightley, Matt Smith, and Ralph Fiennes as well. This film is completely opposite to number 15, actually. It's a very, very eye-catching one that you must pay attention to. The story is very complex. It's a very complicated one. It's based on a true story. I never stopped gazing at it. This really, really is a great performance by Keira Knightley, but Matt Smith really surprised the hell out of me. I was a huge Doctor Who fan back in the day, and to see him be as this 11th incarnation as Doctor Who to this, it was a really nice surprise. Next up on this list is El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. Of course, I have seen Breaking Bad. I've seen the show 3 times, and I watched it the 3rd time in the lead up, in the build up to this film, which I heavily was excited about. It did not disappoint. I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan, and this film did not disappoint in the slightest. I have seen and I have read many reviews about people that were let down by this film, and I wasn't. I was hooked up the entire time. Aaron Paul, to snap out of a character for the past 6 years and get right back into it, I don't know how he did it. The dedication to this performance is very underrated, and this film is highly underrated, and his performance is completely underrated. He is incredible in this film. It's a great callback to all these great characters, this whole great story. Vince Gilligan has done it once again, and he has shown them how it's done. The next up at number 12 is Toy Story 4. The Pixar franchise continues once again, but really, most likely, it pretty much is going to be the final one. And if you are looking for a film that has that really great closing chapter, this is the one. I was very concerned about how this film would turn out, and it turned out fantastic. This is really a live action one. This is incredible in terms of the achievement of the visual effects, the cinematography, and to see these characters once again on the big screen, it's just a huge nostalgic throwback, and I really loved it. I thought it was a great way to end everything. Yeah, I teared up. Yeah, I was 9 years old again, but it's fine. Next up at number 11 is the completely mind-bending Safdie brothers film, Uncut Gems. This film will completely mess you up in terms of a very anxious way, in the best way possible. Adam Sandler, this man has proven that he is incredible in acting. Despite Click, despite Jack and Jill, despite all these films that he's been in, he is a great actor. and this is his best performance by far. And the Safdie brothers have done a great job in bringing that performance out in him, because he has some great abilities. And this is a great film that just left me at the edge of my seat from beginning to end. And now for my top 10. Number 10 goes to Marriage Story. Adam Driver and Scarlett Johansson give probably one of the best performances of the decade. There is one brutal scene. It involves a lot of dialogue, a lot of communication, and it breaks your heart. It really does. You've seen a lot of memes about it, I'm sure you have, but if you have not seen the scene, you're missing out. You are missing out on this film. It's on Netflix. Check it out. It's a beautiful one. Just don't miss out. Number 9 goes to Martin Scorsese's epic 3.5-hour film, Irishman. This was heavily anticipated for me. I'm a huge Scorsese fan, and to see him go back to the crime genre, the gangster genre that he's always belonged in, is great. Yes, it's over 3 hours long, but you can probably break that down into 4 episodes of a Netflix series, 45 minutes each. Did I do that? Absolutely not. This is a film that I had to watch. I had to watch this from beginning to end with no pauses, no interruptions, no distractions. That is the best way to watch a film, and it truly is epic. And 3.5 hours long, there is obviously a reason to do that, and that is fleshed out characters. And this is probably the most fleshed out characters I have seen all year. To see Robert De Niro and Al Pacino in a film once again, it's amazing. What else can I say? Come on. Number 8 goes to Rian Johnson's original and very unique Knives Out. This is a huge, heavily influenced Agatha Christie murder mystery whodunit film. It's very original. It is got a great screenplay, and Rian Johnson has done a great job once again, and I can't wait to see what he does for the sequel, because I'm very pumped up for this one. Daniel Craig, this man is fantastic. He is hilarious. He is very suspenseful, as much as his film is. The cast is amazing, and I was very excited about this one, and of course it did not disappoint. Next up on the list is number 7, I Lost My Body. This is a film that not many people at all are going to have on their list. I completely doubt that people will have this on their list, but this one deserved Best Animated Feature. I do love Toy Story 4, but this one had to. This is a great way in breaking down and splitting a surreal and a very real film as well. I love anime, I love animation in general, but to have a film that has a mixture of both normal animation and Japanese animation as well is something that I've always longed for. The film's message is very deep, it's very emotional, it really hits you personally, and I just loved every minute of it. The next film on this list, number 6, of course I had to involve it in this list somehow, some way. It's Parasite. This film really is a remarkable achievement, of course, that it won Best Picture, a foreign film to win Best Picture at the Oscars. That's a great achievement, but that's probably the only reason why that this film has received all this recognition. It's a great film. Is it my favorite of the year? Of course not. There is number 1, only one film is my favorite, which I'll get to in a bit, but Parasite is a great one in the whole list. It has a very entertaining manner in a film, but very deep message as well in terms of social communication. Number 5 goes to the astonishing achievement in terms of camera work, 1917. Roger freaking Deakins is just immaculate. But of course, Sam Mendes does a great job in telling a story with just in the style of one shot. If you watch the behind the scenes of this film, go and type it on YouTube, you see what actually is going on. It is a great achievement that alone has to be on this list, of course, and I was very excited to watch this one. It did not let me down at all. I love this film. So that is part of my top 5 list now, but now number 4 goes to Avengers Endgame. It is 3 hours long, and there is not one single second that I felt bored about it at all. The characters are so fleshed out. I have been with these characters for so long, because this whole 10-year culmination and it ending and having a great conclusion, great fan service is what this film delivers. Who doesn't want that? I love that, and I was riveted by this film from beginning to end. I loved it. 3000. 3 goes to Joker. Of course, this film has all the attention for the absolute wrong reasons, but that's not going to stop me from including it in my top 3. Joker is a masterpiece. I'm going to say it is art. It is an incredible way of creating this iconic comic book character in the most real way possible. It is a psychological thriller that I can talk about for days, but I won't. Joaquin Phoenix is just mind-blowing in this film. He is magnificent, and he really does, in a way, remind me of how Heath Ledger was, and he does pay homage to Heath Ledger. There is no point in comparing the two, of course, but Joaquin Phoenix, he is up there. Number 2 goes to James Mangold's great racing film, Ford versus Ferrari, or probably as it's known over here, Le Mans 66. If you want a great feel-good film, this is the one for you. If you want a great feel-good true story, this is the one for you. If you're not even a fan of driving or racing or whatever, it doesn't matter, because you will also be entertained by this film, no doubt in my mind. To watch this film in cinema and to hear that sound, to hear that great acceleration was incredible. It gave me goosebumps, and aside from all the driving and all the action in the film, the characters, they are incredibly fleshed out, and I just couldn't be more happier with this one. The ending really hit me in the heart. It's really one of the reasons as to why I put this in my top 2, because the way it left me in theaters towards the end of the film, I'm never gonna forget that. And that's the thing that I really do look out when I watch a film, the way it leaves me, the way it makes me react. It's that emotional response that I look out for, and I really did look out for this one because I will always remember it. But of course, there is always a number 1, and a number 1 for the best film of 2019 goes to Cats. Of course, it's Cats. Look at that visual effects. Oh, masterpiece. Of course, jokes aside, number 1, the best film of 2019, of course, goes to Quentin Tarantino's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. There was this feeling that I knew from the beginning of the film that this was going to be something special, and I was right. Tarantino, I don't care what anyone says, I think this is probably one of his top 3 best films out of his 9. It doesn't really need some sort of plot or a narrative, really, and Tarantino has proven that with his films like Pulp Fiction, Inglourious Basterds, and even the very highly underrated Hateful Eight. This film follows that. A 2-hour and 45-minute film did not leave me bored, not one single second. I loved the back and forth chemistry between DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. There was no other film that left me the way that I felt for this one, this whole entire year, and it's the ending. It's the final act that just got me extremely excited. It is a film that you can watch and you can see these characters and they're practically doing nothing. I watched these characters driving around LA's in 1969. I saw them watching TV with their buddies, which is what us normal people would do as well. How can you not be entertained by that? Guys, that is it for me. Those are my best films of 2019 that I just love and enjoy so much. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you very soon. Thank you so much.